Hour, and we got music everywhere, don't we? Isn't that great? So now, we still got music everywhere. So now, what we're doing here is you're at the How to Hear Be Heard show, and we're hearing all kinds of things, aren't we? So I have a quote for you. It's by Hubert Humphrey, and it says, "The right to be heard does not automatically include the right to be taken seriously." What do you think?
Go, Hubert.
And, yeah, absolutely. And then Joseph Priestley said, the more elaborate our means of communication, the less we communicate. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, full and complete communication means we keep things simple, very simple. All right? So go ahead.
Okay. Well, we had an email that came in during the break.
Okay,
and
cool.
it's from Sarah. It says, what kinds of clues do people give off when they are shutting down and not really listening to what you are saying?
Okay, read it again one more time.
What kinds of clues do people give off when they are shutting down and not really listening to what you are saying?
So what I call them the rug inspectors. Those are the people that look down at the ground and they're just going, oh, I hope he doesn't ask anymore. I hope he doesn't say anymore. I hope there's just nothing more I have to do here. And by the way, does anybody have a watch? And they're looking at their watch going, oh, boy, do I have to go to the bathroom. Let's just kind of get out of here.
Or when you're talking to them, their eyes kind of just drift off into another direction.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of things going on here. Like right now, I just want to communicate. There's a lot of echoing going on in my headset. I mean, it's really phenomenal. I mean, it's just so... there's all kinds of things in life where kind of echoes go through your head and things happen and life goes on and everything else. And you kind of get really committed to hear what's going on. So, it's all about understanding that a lot of times that what you need to hear is, you're quite not ready to hear it. And your mind's going, it's time to go to sleep. I don't want to hear this anymore. I don't want to play anymore. Or your circumstances are going, this isn't perfect. I quit. I'm walking out of here.
Your brain just shuts down.
Your brain just shuts down.
Yeah.
So you just got to get that. Life is full of circumstances, but you're all about being able, the good person, the great person doesn't let the circumstances govern their life. Okay, so you have another one?
I do.
Oh, boy, they're really rolling in here, huh? No, it's really cool. Thanks, you guys out there in Radio Land.
Just another short question.
How do you think people send emails from their car when they're driving?
I hope they don't.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Maybe they're in
don't do that, you guys.
Maybe they're in their office listening.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
This is from Oscar. It says, is there any trick to getting your teenage children to listen to you?
Oh, okay. Here's some straight talk.
A short question with a big answer.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's some real straight talk that I'm very, very serious about. You want to get your kids to listen to you, you have to teach them that by listening to them. Now, how do you make sure that your kids know you're listening? One, you stop doing whatever you're doing when they're talking. Two, you always sit at eye level. Three, you don't interrupt. I don't care how many times they want to take your Jaguar and they just got your driver's license. All right? You just have to get that they are who you have taught them to be. Okay?
So you just want to make them feel that they're being heard and that what they have to say is important. And
that you care and that they're being heard. You don't have to agree with what they say, but you have to give them the right, to say what they need to say no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's really cool. All right. So, wow, the echo's gone. The static has gone away. Cool.
Now
Yay.
you can hear better, huh?
Now I can hear better. Now I can talk my brains out. I don't have to worry about who's hearing me or not. Now, how to hear. Effective listening is a way of, of being that goes beyond merely hearing words. It's a way of being that includes listening for the whole message, like who the speaker is being in the conversation. How powerful are they being or not? Are they looking down at the ground? Are they, prancing around the stage, quite frankly, adjusting their belt or fixing their tie or moving their mic around, and they're just on automatic speaking the words? Are they reading the PowerPoint or are they being the PowerPoint? It's all about where you leave the listener. So listening in this way requires that you actively listen and you really be a great listener. Now, what are the characteristics of a great listener? Think about that now. What's the makeup of someone that is really, really listening? Great listeners are present to what the speaker has to say. Now, what's it mean to be present?
Well, you pay attention.
Yeah. So I'm going to say something now and think about this. What would it be like in every communication if you had your head present to where your feet are? Like, how many times have you been at home and your wife or husband goes, oh, your body may be at home, but your head's not here? Okay? Or how many times have you been on the phone talking and you kind of drift off into watching a bird fly by? All right?
More than once.
Or a beautiful woman walk down the street. All right? Or
well, I can't say I've done that one.
Or how about this? You hear a Harley, wah, 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 you know, going down the road, just going, oh, well.
I've noticed your eyes kind of drift
off. Oh, yeah,
off.
it just kind of takes you off, right? So great listeners are present to what a speaker has to say. And this means not planning for what the response is while you're listening. So when somebody's saying something to you, a lot of us will hear the first 4 or 5 words of the sentence and automatically go in and start preparing their retort, start preparing for what they're going to say back, and they don't really hear. Why are you laughing so much?
Well, I have to tell you a secret.
Oh, gee, what is it?
I've done that with you a few times.
Oh, no kidding.
Probably done with everybody I listen to.
Yeah. So what would it be like for you to be really present for the entire statement of whoever's talking to you before you start generating the answer? What would it be like if you were listening to somebody and you weren't judging them because their hair was all wang-dang-doodled, all right? Or their makeup was weird, or they just rubbed their eye and all their eye makeup's to the full right side of the eye. And you don't know whether you should tell them or not. You know what I mean? So what if, or how about this? How about you're talking to somebody and they remind you of somebody you just flat don't like. And that gets in the way of your listening. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
All right? Or how about this? You're talking to somebody and you really like them. And you can't hear because you want them. Whoa. You know what I mean? Like
I would never tell you if that happened to me, though.
No, that would only happen when you're looking at me, right?
That's right.
Oh, totally.
Right.
All right, now, great listeners also focus on the person who's speaking. They listen with their ears, also with their eyes and other senses, all right? They are aware of all the nonverbal communication contained in the message. And true listeners, all right, listen to the whole person, to the person's heart, not just to the words, you know, their passion for what they're speaking, right? Or who they're being while they're speaking, and how they stand, how they look, what their body English is, what their shoulders look like, what their eye contact is. Are they speaking with a smile about something that's happy, or are they just speaking?
I notice that you do that when you're coaching somebody or in the personal planning workshop. You are totally in tune with whoever you're talking with or listening to.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that? Because I really want to hear. I don't let anybody get by me at all. If I don't hear them or I don't understand them, I'll stop the conversation. I said, you know, it's important that I get what you're saying. So I didn't hear you or I don't understand what you're saying. Could you start over? Because I want to know. And, you know, I've never had anybody say, I'm sorry, bite me. You only get it once. You know, people always want to know.
I haven't heard them tell you that either. Yeah.
You know,
no, I have not heard them tell you that either.
No. Oh, I thought you said you told me that. Oh my God.
Secretly, maybe. But
Oh, you mean there are attitudes? Oh, no.
I never had an attitude with you, honey.
Yeah. Great. It's so nice to have you back. How am I doing?
Bad.
Okay. Great listeners encourage the speaker to continue on his or her train of thought. All right, making the speaker feel listened to and respected. Look, if somebody's going to stand up and say what's going on with them, you want to give them the room and the support to say it, because it takes chutzpah to stand up and say what's going on with you, okay? Mm-hmm. Great listeners listen, not from their own viewpoint, but from the viewpoint of the speaker.
I have a question on that one real quick.
Yeah.
How can you have your own viewpoint?
Sure.
And you're listening to somebody else, and they have their own viewpoint.
Yep.
So until you get their viewpoint, how can you understand what they're saying? I mean, unless you already understand it.
Okay, so I didn't understand what you just said.
Okay.
So let's just go again. And we got 1 minute, so we can go.
Okay, real quick. No, so if you're listening to somebody and they have their viewpoint and you have your own viewpoint, and you really want to listen to them from the speaker's viewpoint, how can you get their viewpoint if you don't understand?
Is you stop and you ask.
Okay.
The only way you can, if you don't understand what somebody's saying to you, or your own mental filter is saying to you, well, they're listening. In the way. I don't agree with this. I don't like this. I'm going to change their thinking. They're not right. Mm-hmm. All right. You need to get that stuff out of the way. Otherwise, the other person's not going to feel heard. Like right now, I've got to take a break, and I hate to take a break in the middle of this. Oh, yeah.
I understand. Go.
All right. All right. You're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290, your Santa Barbara News Press radio station. Get on back because Susan and I are just communicating, man.